Okay, so last week we had met Lady Brienne's true face, and during the festival time, the party is currently at Matilda's discussing next steps. Why don't we go ahead and everyone let us know how injured they are? Um, so we can get a good idea of what the party's health is looking like.
Moderately injured.
Ignores 3 skill ranks and grievously injured.
Well,
I am unharmed and I'm imperiled.
excellent. Okay.
I think Nero's still hurt.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he said that. I think he said he was previously.
Yeah, I am seriously wounded, and I still have a busted knee for the next 21.
Oh man, if you get into another fight, you know you're getting another busted knee right away. Oof.
Almost certainly, but that's okay.
So what's the next move, guys? What? You had a week to sort of think it out?
I say Rutherford just takes one for the team and marries it.
I think it's what we do after that if we go with that plan.
We take her to Skarnsburg. And then Ramon dispels her. And then we leave.
I mean, we could also use like the event as like a surprise attack on her if you guys want to like kill her, or if you guys want to just take this time to see like maybe figuring out what her deal is and then attack her. I don't know where we're going with this. Essentially, what do we want to do with her? Do we want to kill her or not? I think that's like a big question.
Well, assuming that she's even still interested in getting married, because it's possible that the events of last session have sort of soured her on the idea, but assuming that somehow she can be convinced to go through with it, if nothing else, it buys us time. But Rutherford's going to have to sweet talk her, though.
Rutherford, you're gonna have to really sweet talk her. You better hope your rolls are beautiful.
Yeah, I got the ignore 3 skill ranks and the notorious moocher, so
Oh God!
all fellowship rolls I make, the people I know, I have to flip the fail. So,
Wait.
How do we get?
Wait. Now that's a skill that you picked up with your new class.
that's the drawback. Yep.
People who know you. That's hilarious.
How what are ways that we can like de-stress Rutherford? How can we bother him up? Does he need a spa day?
He needs to sleep for a night in some place that's safe.
Okay, so what if, because we are gonna sleep in her name is escaping me right now.
Matilda's?
Matilda's place. Would he be okay the next day?
Yeah, if you slept all night, he would get the imperiled blood going.
So, like, if we let Rutherford sleep all day, at least.
It is the middle of the night.
Maybe go to sleep, Rutherford. Maybe there's a chance that we could convince her to to marry him, or at least buy us some time as we try to figure out maybe what she wants or what her deal is. Maybe.
Well, Ramon had also mentioned that he does have the magical means to harm her, so that is another route to explore. I mean, he's the only thing that we have at the moment that's capable of harming her. So, do we somehow find a way to distract her while he just peppers her with whatever magical blasts he has, or?
I mean, we could do that. My fear is if it's going to be enough.
Well, that was my concern as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because like let's just say that he does hit her all those times, and it's not enough to kill her. Then we are back to square one, because then we just wait another day of probably her planning to protect herself, because she's not the most sane person in the world. But who knows what she'll do if we like attack her and she ends up alive. Like, I don't know how long it takes for her to heal herself. Like, what if she has magical means? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So what are we doing, guys?
We are sleeping. We
Okay.
should all.
Yeah, I think at this point we don't really have much of a choice. We got to turn in for the night and give Rutherford and everyone else, for that matter, just a chance to catch our breath and heal up a tiny bit, and then I guess we'll decide how to proceed in the morning.
Okay. Let's everyone reset your peril status to full. You are all non-imperiled anymore. What is the word they use?
Unhindered.
Unhindered. You are all unhindered for a full night's sleep in a safe place. A little packed, but you do recover all those all that peril on your peril track. Before you run out anywhere, would you like to spend the 40 minutes or so it would take Matilda to bandage everybody up?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I think we did that last session, didn't we?
Well, it's a new day, so she can bandage again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Everybody's boo-boos get looked at.
Let's see. So everyone but Rasmussen go up 1 damage track. So it's a new day. The right outside the hut, the little protective dome of the hut, the snow is falling harder and faster than you've seen yet. But at the same time, it's very serene. Just even your footsteps have been covered in by snow. It looks like nobody's come this way since last night. What's the plan?
Because we had a sleep, does our peril condition track go up?
Yeah, you should no longer have any peril, so you should be unhindered.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Genevieve is gonna go outside of the hut and check at her horse and see if she sees anything. She's just kind of like peripheral watch.
Sure. Give me an awareness test. Make it standard.
All right. Nope.
Yeah, you don't see anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
But you're not exceedingly confident in that fact.
It's too snowy.
Right.
How deep is the snow?
We're getting to a good. We were at like maybe a 6-inch snow before, so annoying, but you can definitely trudge through it. Now we're getting to like a 2-foot snowfall, so
Okay,
now it's starting to hinder movement.
it's getting bad. I guess we should go to the outskirts of the town and see what's happening before we just waltz right in.
Yep, sounds like a plan.
Okay. You all ride in the ox cart back, everyone.
Well, Genevieve has her horse, I believe, but
Right.
Yeah, Ramon and Rasmussen can ride with the beast heads and the mead.
Oh yes, we still have the meat on the cart. Um. Sure. You start to approach the village. Um. The pyre in the center was burned, right where the witch or where Delilah was. It was burned, as you can see, approaching from the north side of the town. Looking in, you see a few people out and about. Um, Genevieve, a few of your old soldiers are standing around there. Um, but other than that, nothing seems too out of the ordinary.
Everything looks pretty calm.
Oh no, who did they burn?
You immediately went, who did they burn?
I have a
What do you guys
feeling
want?
I know who burned, but
Um,
could take an awareness check to see if we see uh Lady Brienne.
Um, don't need it. She's a giant like monster,
Oh, I thought
so
so
don't
Elja was
care.
lying. Okay.
So you don't see her out in the vicinity.
mm, do any of those soldiers that we see, do they look like they're looking at us, or they're just kind of like minding their own business, or just no gaze at all, or no reaction?
No reaction, mostly.
Weird. Maybe she's at the inn.
Would she be able to fit in the inn?
well, I mean,
Um,
she revealed her true self, quote unquote. But for the longest time, she looked like just a regular woman, right? So there's no reason to think that she couldn't revert back to that form.
Well, Ramon dispelled her, right? And then her skin
mm,
fell off.
Mhm.
So maybe.
Okay. Um. Maybe she's at the inn, because that's the only place I would imagine she would be at, because she had a room in there.
Man, I guess we just. I mean, there's nothing else we can do.
Well, I mean, unless we just up and ask if anybody has seen where she went.
All right, so I'm gonna approach the soldiers that I see, and I'm going to try to ask them if they've seen Lady Brianna. See if they react to me.
Yeah, they look at you. One of them says, yeah, she's in the manor house.
Oh. Okay, so she thanks them, and then she goes back to the others and says, "Looks like she's taking shelter in the manor."
Well,
Figures that's the only place her fat ass can fit.
Look, you need to stop. You need to concentrate on saying beautiful words that come out of that mouth.
so the question remains: do we just try and kill her outright, or are we gonna try to buy some time? How do you guys want to play this?
What if we burn down the manor?
Who's in the manor, though?
It doesn't matter.
That's so first doesn't matter.
She might be in there.
Well, I imagine you burn down the manor and you just see her hideous body just like burst out of the manor unharmed while everybody else in there is screaming. That's what's going to end up happening. I say we go to the manor and see if maybe we can talk to her, because I feel like if we attack her in the manor, it's just going to be we have to see who's there too, because we can't just be like burning down the manor when we don't know who's in there.
A witch is in there, and you burn witches, but we can talk to her.
Oh God. So yeah, where's the corruption?
Let's see. We're just talking about burning people, right?
Yeah, we're just talking about burning people.
So I guess just one corruption.
Stop that! Sorry, that's terrible idea. Anyways, I say I'm gonna head towards the manor.
I guess we're going to the manor then.
Yep.
Okay. As you're on your way to the manor house, and when you get close to it, you notice it is guarded, but nobody's tried to stop you yet. The front door has been widened, has been destroyed, and just like a larger hole is there. Like it was cut out, and then maybe some blankets or something hung up above it.
Oh God. Guess I just asked the nearest person. Is Lady Brienne in there?
Yes, sir. Lady Brienne is currently holding court.
What?
Oh no.
Court for what?
Court for her subjects, I guess.
Okay, I thought she was like I was thinking something completely else.
Yeah, no,
May we enter?
I don't think it's against the rules. Bob, what do you think? Is it against the rules? Nah. So I think the two will let you in. You'll come in. You notice she's taken the manor house and it's been kind of gutted a little bit. And they just like maybe like a couple of tables have been loosely put together to make like a throne that her hideous tentacled mass is sitting on. when you stride in, you have a feeling of uneasy cold. Even though it's basically just a open door, the room itself feels even colder than outside. Walk as soon as she sees you, the group. She says, "If it isn't the traitors to the town, come to beg for forgiveness, have you?"
I shove my shoulder to Rutherford's side. Shove my elbow into his side.
I am here to apologize. What I said before was a lie, and unbecoming of someone such as myself. But I stand here before you, as I did make a promise to you. Take your hand in marriage.
Make a charm roll. I'm just trying to figure out what difficulty this should be. Let's just call it let's call it challenging.
Failed.
No, that's a success.
Flip the fail.
Oh, well, she doesn't know you,
Yeah,
right?
not well enough, yeah. She thinks I'm a noble.
That's right. The lie is still there. Soon
Good.
she will know you very well.
No, don't say that.
Um, you see like her tentacles kind of like perk up
No.
as her body rises a little bit and she like slithers towards you.
Shut up.
As she says, "Well, I accept."
Funnest day ever.
Fuck.
It's had to feel good.
I will grant you the privilege of being my husband. Her mask gets closer, and she says, "If only we knew a priest, we could do it right now."
Well,
Save yourself some time. Don't say anything, Rutherford.
out of character question. What is the town our priest went to?
He left
road.
town, right? He's not here anymore.
Bob Stout, yeah.
Well, I know there isn't a priest here. He went to Bob's stop down the river. Maybe you should send a messenger for him.
Why don't you go and fetch him yourself? Yes. Go get him. It'll also prove how faithful you are to me.
Very well. I'll leave my villagers under your care.
Well, I believe they already are, and laughs.
Well, I guess we'll leave as soon as we can, but I do have one question.
Yes.
Who was burned in the town?
Um, she kind of like smiles for a moment, and she said, "Some old soldier had decided to rebel against his proper liege, so I ordered him burnt after our other sacrifice had walked away."
Oh, thank God.
What do you think you got for that? Oh my god.
All right, very well. He must have. There's no place in our militia for mutineers.
She said, "No."
Uh, yeah, I'm just shaking in my fancy little boots. All right, if that's all, then I'll be finding a boat down to Bobstop immediately.
Oh, the boat is left. You'll have to travel by land.
Very well. Prove my commitment to you. It shall be done. I'm gonna turn around and leave.
Mhm.
I imagine that the rest of us follow.
I'm gonna
Yes,
get.
we
I'm
we
not even
follow,
checking
I
to make sure
imagine.
that I'm getting on the car and going. I don't care if anyone's in it yet. I'm going.
Yeah, I'm following. Uh, Genevieve's gonna look at Rutherford and she's like, "You really think she's gonna take care of this town?"
Nope.
What do you mean? No.
Let's get Carla and go.
You're just gonna leave? We can't just leave. Well, without at least
Priests, don't we?
knowing she's gonna take care of everybody, like.
Rasmussen, what do you think?
You want to run away with Carla and betray your betrothed? Come on. You are so gonna get tentacled.
Look, I mean, this would give us an opportunity to maybe ask for help outside of the village, but we also don't know if when we come back there's going to be anything left.
I'm all for finding Carla, if for no other reason than just make sure that she's safe and to put some distance between us and it so that we can formulate a workable plan. We've done the one thing that we set out to do, and that's just to buy ourselves a little bit of time. But, our window for action is going to close very quickly because if she hasn't already dominated the entire village, it'll happen pretty quickly. So we need to come up with a plan of action, something that we do in a concrete manner. Now, that could be we figure out a way to magic bomb her ass, or we raise a small army and come back and deal with her, or it could be we ride out of town and never set foot in this village again. But whatever it is we decide, we have to decide it quick.
Why didn't we burn the manor down?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Data.
do we know if fire affects this thing?
A part of me is totally okay with just stepping back and gathering resources to figure out what to do with her, because that seems smart now that we do have time. So I'll go with that.
Is the manor filled with civilians? No, seriously, why didn't we burn the manor down?
Well, I mean, for one thing, it's the Basque family manor, and I'm guessing that Genevieve doesn't want to burn down her family home if it can be avoided.
You don't even live there.
Is the Graf still looking for Carla?
There's a lot of layers to this question. But let's just say you couldn't possibly have any idea.
Where are all the civilians that she's mind controlling?
Oh, I did. When we went inside the manor, they said that she was holding court. Like, was there other people there?
Ooh, now that you could,
Was it just her?
yeah, but
Cool, so I just go back to
yeah.
town and I start disenchanting people. Until we have the whole town back under our control.
All right. I mean, that's what you want to do.
Well, why wouldn't I? Rutherford, why wouldn't I? Tell me why I'm not doing this, Rutherford.
Do it. Is that the plan you want?
I'm not in charge here, my lord.
Whoever said I was in charge?
You did, when you signed the paperwork to take over the town. We're all gonna live or die by your word, so what are we doing, Lord Rutherford? Or should I say, Rutherford?
Father Ruth.
Yes, Father Ruth. Sex advice, give it to me.
Okay, here's what I propose. If you're going to spend some time disenchanting people, I think that's a great idea. But I'll suggest one addendum. Whenever you disenchant them, tell those people to head towards what's a good meeting place? Maybe the South Fields, like well out of sight, and we'll slowly gather people there.
The band of I-95.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing, it was a bad joke.
And, once we're certain that we have a solid number of people who have been freed from her influence, we'll see if we can rally them, and maybe all together we can attack her at the manor. And if nothing else, the entire village will act as a distraction while you rally whatever magical ability you have and try to deal with her.
So now we're thinking like nobles. Surely I'll save the entire village so that I could use them as a meat shield for the final battle.
I don't really. No, I don't think that you're willing to sacrifice like the villagers who probably have very little army combat in the beginning. And they can't even wound her or attack her in any ways. I can't even wound her and attack her, and I'm one of your best fighters. Like, you're gonna make sure that Ramon hits every little single shot. Like,
yeah, Lord Rutherford, what's up with this crazy idea of yours? Nothing to say. So like a noble. Lord Rutherford doesn't think of the little man.
Well, most of the Ziegenhelts are dead already. And the Hutfields have been reduced in numbers due to the Beastmen. I'm not really sure how many people are left in Bogenhofen, but if most of them are under the influence of Brianna, first we need to free them of her influence, and then presumably we either get them to a place of safety or we rally them to the cause. But I think at this point it's almost inevitable that more bodies are going to fall.
While inevitable or not, we should have at least some chance of dealing with her, right? Because what's the point of rallying people when there's no hope?
Well, I completely agree with you, except that we do have one means of harming her, and that's Ramon. But if he goes in there alone, she's going to eat him. So if we throw a bunch of bodies at her, some of them may die, but it'll buy him time to kill her.
Yeah, Jeremy's not looking very convinced.
It's a plan. It's not necessarily a good plan, but it's a plan. And without wanting to be overly callous, at this particular moment in time, I would much rather see a bunch of villagers die than me.
You, a villager.
I'm starting to regret signing that piece of paper Alexandre had me sign.
I don't pretend you didn't know what it was.
I can't read.
You had him explain it to you, and then you had Rasmussen read it to you. You have no leg to stand on here, much like Rasmussen.
Well,
Ouch.
if we're gonna hurl bodies at the monster, then there's gonna be no town. If we don't kill her, there's no town.
Well, to be fair, if you don't kill her, there'll just be a town that'll be controlled by monsters.
Yeah, so I won't have a town.
Conversely, if you kill all the villagers, there'll still be a town. A town is just buildings.
And it'll just decay away into nothing.
So what's
Do
the
you know
plan,
any
Lord
other-
Rutherford?
Do you know any other magicians, Mr. Jester?
Sure, I know plenty of magicians. What do you want, like a children's party? You want a birthday party? What are you looking for?
Murder.
We're looking for can get rid of creepy tentacle creatures.
Oh, then you want a magic user. You see, magicians are fakes.
Lord Rutherford likes the sound of that.
It could be useful if we get enough of them.
I would imagine they're hard to find, and they probably want coin for it, right?
I can imagine a lot of things. So,
Not to put too fine a point on it, but if there's a civil war going on, I would imagine a lot of them have already been recruited into the various sides that are fighting.
Oh yeah.
No.
The most famous one I know turns into a giant crow, and he has his walking castle.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like battle wizards are not a thing really.
Yeah, because
So,
aren't there like witch hunters and stuff? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Less Warhammer-y in that sense. There's no like College of Magic like in Warhammer, right? Where it was like made normal. So
Okay, so it's mostly just individuals, investigating the occult on their own terms.
Well, I mean, to counter that thought, there are divine casters that are battle specialized.
So the gist of what we're getting is Ramon is a freak.
What are you saying? That the 40-pound, 3-foot-tall creature in front of you wearing face makeup and dressed as a jester is a freak? Well, fuck you.
He's a jester. It's perfect.
I'm gonna take my silver darts and go home.
So I mean,
At the
Well,
blacksmith's place, was there any indication that she had any silver on hand?
super unlikely if she did.
I know there's silver at the inn.
I mean, silver, not a great blacksmith material. Not a great smithing material, rather. Famously weak.
Yeah, and very likely at the inn there might be like a set of silverware, but mostly people around here eat with lead utensils because it's cheaper.
Also explains why they're dumb as bricks.
And it does.
Lead poisoning. So yeah, I'm just gonna go walk into town and start disenchanting people. Because apparently no one's got any ideas.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and
How many people are there?
there's geez. Just in town.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
Let's see. There's probably I'm trying to think of because so many people have died recently. Um there's probably like 80 to 90 in the town proper.
Oh, I'm gonna be a real mutant by the time I'm done this.
So, I mean, like, you can try and call upon magic that much. But, last time,
I guess I could just not channel it. I just keep doing it over and over again. Because if I don't channel, then I'm not gonna be incurring chaos ranks or whatever. Yeah, I think that's fine. We can just make the assumption, right, that if I fail, I'll re-roll. And
right, yeah. So, I guess it's more of a question of how many do you get to before you're noticed?
well, if
That's
she
what I'm
stays at
thinking.
the manor, who's gonna notice?
Well, that's the thing, and you don't have all the information. So, go ahead and roll an incantation test.
I roll
Make
to
it,
see all the information.
yeah, yeah, basically. Roll the incantation test. Just make it a standard, I think, because
For
there's
what are we doing? Sorry, are we doing the spell, or are we just saying one and done?
we're saying one. You got the one roll here, and this is a test of how far you get before you're noticed, and then what happens there.
Fortune point.
Yep, good idea.
Cool. Things only get better from here.
Yeah, so it's not you start dispelling. You get I'm guessing you're targeting soldiers first,
Yeah, same thing as
right?
before.
Or
I target the people who have combat experience. Start with I guess what's his name got recaptured, right? Or did he run off? Or did he get burned? Because that guy got burned alive.
Mark Renstock probably
Okay.
went alive. Definitely.
Okay, so then I start with the trained soldiers and then work my way down the militia, and then work my way through the Ziegenhelts or Hutsfields, whichever I find, and then general populace.
Yeah, you get I think maybe 4 or 5 before you feel something like very cold, very angry begin to like take notice in you. Standing in the street, maybe you start feeling uneasy as you look around the snow and you can start seeing the snow move.
Yeah, but Great Lord Dagon is not going to stop me from doing this.
What was that?
So Great Lord Dagon is not going to stop me from doing this. I'm not going to be stopped by a sense of unease. I don't care how
Right.
Cthulhu this town is.
Yeah, I got you. But as you're doing this, the like the sense of unease, and maybe you get one more, it's like a total of 5, we'll say. You see trudging through the snow, like clear as day. You don't know what it is, but Nash knows what it was because it was the last thing he ever saw.
No, it
So
doesn't. Nash doesn't know shit.
Yeah, he's dead now.
Oh, I mean that I don't know what the fuck I fought, so... And I was Nash.
Right,
So
yeah,
Nash
well,
don't know
that's
either.
Well, for the players, and you see the creatures look like they're made out of ice, but almost like they were once either ogres or maybe people that have been twisted and formed into ice, holding a huge weapon or something. You notice about 4 or 5 different different versions of these creatures beginning to descend into the town. But there's some distance between you and them right now.
Alright, I guess I'll retreat with my quarry and wherever we decided to meet. The ramp off of I-95, I guess.
This has just become such a mess. I don't have the slightest idea what to do.
So glad you're the leader. God, I wish there was some sort of inspired leadership to guide us through, some sort of brilliantly fat elf. I'm sure
We've just
he'd
been
know what to do
fumbling
right
our
about
way-
now.
Fumbling our way, destroying this town.
Bumble, bumble, bumble.
Is Ramon the only person who sees these things coming?
I mean, are you guys with him?
I sure hope not, since I'm retreating back to you guys.
Yeah, if anyone was with him, then yeah, they see him. They're not invisible. But you're able to easily escape before those creatures.
Alright, yes.
So-
From now on, we're going to call ourselves Wolverines, and we're going to stage a long-term guerrilla warfare battle in town, in the outskirts of town. Mainly, we're going to live in the forest.
Nah, the mine. Be like bat people.
The mine is a long ways away from the town. We need to stay in some relative distance. Perhaps some sort of national forest.
The body pit.
Yes, let's live in the body pit. Which, by the way, a homeless guy walked back and forth to.
You know, the one thing I did for this town was I gave one unemployed person a job.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
That wasn't
Body
you.
hauler.
You didn't do that. Somebody got
Hey.
flayed alive and somebody else asked them to take them to the body pit.
Well, I paid him with stolen rings. But
Such a heart of gold, Weatherford. Such a heart.
all right, well, I guess I'll just kind of stare out the window and of the inn and see what these things are gonna do. Because
You're at the inn? Why the fuck are you in town?
why wouldn't I go into town?
Okay, so I run out of town with the 5 people I've disenchanted, while Lord Rutherford apparently sits at the window of the inn, surrounded by people that are enchanted, while the monsters walk in.
It's not like the people were going to hurt me.
Or is it? Sorry, I didn't know that you understood what the ensorcelled townspeople were like. Surely then that the monsters will be on your side as well.
I don't know. I really don't.
So we're
Well,
just
it
chilling.
doesn't. It's not beyond the realm of possibility that we would have retreated to the inn while we were waiting for you, if for no other reason than because the guards and the townspeople did not show any particular hostility towards us when we went to see Brianna to begin with.
Except that you're the one who suggested that we find somewhere safe outside of town to meet up at. So that makes it a seemingly implausibility that you would then also be in town if I'm running off to meet you somewhere.
That was the suggestion I made, but there was no consensus.
Okay. I guess in the silence of non-contradictory statements, I assumed it to be true.
So, in any event, as far as I'm concerned, it makes sense that Genevieve, Rutherford, and Rasmussen would be waiting for some word from Ramon back at the
Well, then I hope you enjoy the monsters. You've twisted the scenario to put yourselves back in the inn. I've run out of town already. Have fun.
Okay, fair enough. So we'll wait an appropriate amount of time. When we don't hear back from Ramon, I imagine we'd sort of poke our head out of the inn to see, what's going on. If
I'm sorry, you cut out.
I was just saying, we'll wait an appropriate amount of time to hear back from Ramon, and when he doesn't show, up, I guess we'll poke our head out and see if there have been any developments.
Yeah, you see the monsters walking down the street, coming into town like no big deal.
What kind? Are they like beastmen monster or just like?
No, instead they're kind of ice monsters, right? Kind of thing.
Mhm.
They look like they were possibly at one point a humanoid of some kind that's like covered in ice, if that makes sense.
Do the people seem to care?
I mean, not the ones that are in Sorceland. They seem pretty fine with us.
I guess I'll just watch.
Oh God.
How big are these things? Like much larger than a man, I guess.
Yeah, they're about ogre size.
Ogre style. Oh shit. And there's like a big group of them, right? It's not like just like 5. It's like, is it more than 5?
It's just 5 of them.
Oh, it's 5. Oh, 5. So yeah, Genevieve would look at the other two and definitely be like, I don't think I don't think what we have now is going to be enough to take care of these two.
Well, I mean, do they look hostile, or they're just walking around and nobody seems to care?
I mean, they don't look hostile, but in the sense that they seem fine as long as you look like you belong. Right?
Oh, okay. Maybe Lady Brianna called that?
Well, I think that's almost a certainty that she somehow has brought these things into her service, which complicates matters for us.
Isn't that weird? Like, when we went to where she was, like at the castle, we never saw these things. You thought if, like, she was scared of the beastmen, she would summon these guys earlier to protect her, right?
Yeah, and she wouldn't have those skulls sitting there as her guards.
Mm-hmm. So, what's different now? Like, how did she, if she summoned these things, like, yeah, what's now, like, what's different? It doesn't make any sense.
Which direction did they come from? The west?
Yeah, that makes the most sense, I suppose. The west.
So they either came from the big woods or from beyond the mountain.
I'm sorry.
Let's see the map. Need to find the map.
All I said was they either came from the deep forests or from beyond the mountains to the west.
So Jeb was this ice monster.
I mean, Jeb was never that ice monster. Jeb still
not
looked like that.
these, but he had that ice or the snow armor shit,
Mm-hmm.
and he melted in the snow, and he made it snow.
Well, I mean,
He
as
made
far
it
as we know,
land.
he might have been in league with this thing. He might have been under its influence. He might have studied its kind of sorcery. Who the hell knows with these witches?
But didn't Jeb want the baby thing?
Yeah, he did want the baby, apparently.
And I don't recall if he said anything when Ramon killed it.
Unfortunately, he did not say his motivations when he got blown up.
Yeah, and I think Ramon would have told me if, like, he said he wanted the baby. He just said that, like, he wanted the baby, didn't give a reason or anything like that.
Speaking of which, where the hell is he? We haven't heard back from him yet. You think one of these things killed him?
Where are these things headed? Are they, like, going towards the manor, or are they, like, just...
They're heading into the center of town. They're looking for something.
Oh, they actually look like they're looking for something.
Well, if we are able to avoid these things, at least for now, that's probably a good idea. Because if we start a confrontation with them, I don't know that we're really set up to defeat.
You think we could talk to them?
That might be worth a try, yeah. But the thing is, Rutherford's supposed to have already left in order to go get the priest, so I don't know if he's the one who should be talking.
I mean, I'll go ask.
I mean, I said I would go when I was able to.
Okay, well then,
not long, right?
Then the three of us should go and talk. That way, no one person is left on their own in case they get any funny ideas.
But we're gonna need to find Ramon.
Well, I mean, if we're going around town, sooner or later, we should be able to find him, I would hope. Unless he, left without letting us know or anything. But why in the world would he do that?
Want me to go ahead and see if I can grab him? I'll probably be the fastest out of the group because I have a horse.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go find Ramon then.
Okay. I guess make an awareness. We didn't So wait, is this whole thing going on because we didn't have a conversation about where we would meet?
Yep.
Well, no, we didn't confirm the conversation about where we would be.
Okay.